Hey, folks.
It's just me and you and two bots. Cause
How's it
yeah,
going?
I'm good. I'm good. So we got the recorder, we got the note taker,
Yeah.
and then there's us two.
Yep.
Um, so I did notice a bug,
Oh, yeah?
and so when I go to edit my agents,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't have to call them pickaxes no more. I'll go
Yeah.
to when I go to edit my agents. Um, when I try to save it, it does this auto save thing that actually stops it from saving.
Oh, interesting.
You want
Um,
me? You want me to demo it to you?
yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah. We're gonna share the screen so you can see this. Cause hmm, we go share screen. Allow, and I want. Let's go to dashboard picture. Boom.
Yeah, all right, I can see the dashboard.
Yeah. Um, you can see the dashboard. But I need to get to it. All right, cool. I'm here.
Yeah.
So I've been making. I've been like brainstorming different workspaces lately. I've been kind of
Mhm.
on a tear. Um, all right, so I don't understand why they think now it's time to call me. But I'm on there we go, edit the agent. Let's do that. Okay. I'm here and the thing that I want changed, obviously is this dang picture, right?
Yep, that makes perfect
So
sense.
so I'm gonna put generate, we're gonna go none. What's the name of this dang thing? I think it's called the strategist. Okay. Boom. What we gonna do? The strategist. I know I could put a way more robust prompt, but you don't have to because I saw the people on this tutorial. They didn't do that shit either. So, boom. We're gonna hit generate, and then we're gonna wait. And and the frustrating part about this part, um, as far as when, um, is it takes this long, then
Yeah,
you have to do it over. And I'm gonna show you the little workaround I found, which is not gonna be easy for everybody to do, but
sure.
what I've been able to get working, but we gotta wait.
Well, yeah, I mean, we use I think Flux is the default for image generation, so that's something we can probably look into on the back end, it's making it go a little faster.
Well,
But regardless of
that's
that,
not
it's
that's not the
definitely
real problem though. All right, so the real problem is this. I
yeah.
hit save,
Hmm.
and then it's gonna um here you
Hmm.
go. Your latest stuff was auto save. So like cool. Discard that or hit the little X because it saved it right. Auto save. So I should be just hit other update and it should keep this picture, right? We're
Hmm.
gonna hit update and close.
Hmm.
You know what? Lately, update and close has not been working for me today. I don't know why.
Well, that's also not good because it should be working
But I'm
ideally.
hitting it, I'm clicking it, like I'm really clicking. I promise you I am, and
No,
my mouse button
I
ain't
fully
stuck.
believe you. I can
All right.
see. Yeah.
So
Dang.
yeah,
Well,
so
that
there's that.
was not ideal. Okay.
So so yeah, I want to update all my little images because like I made these obviously through API, and the problem when you make it API, I just say, hey, make this image for this one and make this image for that one, which I could have did, but wasn't really thinking about that because I was really thinking about the agents that I wanted to get made, and it did make them, and so there's that. So now I got a different reason why I can't save it because now the update button isn't working, which
Okay. Oh, so you just exited out of that.
well, I didn't have another way, did I? Did I have
Yeah,
another way?
no, sorry. I just I left the screen for a second because I want to
Okay,
see if I
I'm gonna go back to it if I can. So I'm gonna go back to it. We're gonna go to edit agent
hmm.
because I noticed this when I was I added the a custom MCP server. So I went here. See, I got the legal research MCP.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, the adding that wasn't necessarily all that intuitive, so I had to go to like here and then go to create new and then add it there. It had to search for it and then add it. That could be a lot more seamless in my opinion, but
Mhm.
that's not what we're here for. But it's just something to keep note of. I think these get recorded, so you can probably see that. All right,
Mhm.
so we're gonna do this over again. Oh, it's actually it's here in here. Well, you see how the picture is there when I come back, but
Okay, good.
let me see if I hit update and close.
Mm.
But when I like, and obviously the agent list is going to show up.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, update and close ain't working now. Is it
That,
working for you?
well, let me try it right now because I want to see how I want to see how widespread this is. So here, I'm let me share my screen. This is one of my test pickaxes. Let's see. I'll edit this and maybe I will also make a change to the image. I can why don't I wine and food and let's generate a different picture. See if it works. Yeah, but also might be worth making a ticket to see if we can't take like lower the amount of time dedicated to image generation here.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
is it,
the
yeah.
way it was working. So whenever that little thing they told me was auto save, as long as that was up, it wasn't saving. So what I
Mm,
had to do was I had to save my thing real quick and then hurry up and hit update and close before that blue thing show up, and then it
mhm.
would save. Which I know obviously is not working as expected or even as intended, right?
Huh. Okay, so as you can see, mine seems like it was able to update and close. Let me go back into edit agent. Okay, but I can see the old image is still present. So
Yeah.
is it's not working as intended. I wonder if I make some changes to the prompt. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, okay. Literally,
Not like even with that, you still have to beat that that blue
oh,
bar
yeah,
clock.
went in too early. I came in too
Yeah.
hot. All right, this is very helpful testing. Okay, so if I hit update and close,
Hmm.
uh, and I
Then you
reopen
got to
it.
go back and open it.
Okay, that did save successfully, so that's good. So it might just genuinely be like, as opposed to something's like broken, it's just that it's moving really slow, which to be clear is still an issue, and I can make a ticket for it. But I guess that's better than like something being genuinely unusable from the perspective of our engineering team.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me take a look at this. Okay, that stayed. That's good. But it looks like more, if nothing else. Were you said you were having the same problem with if even
Like
if
no
is
matter what I did, because
gotcha.
like I had an issue. I was changing my models actually because for whatever reason, when you make it through the API, if you don't specify models,
Huh.
it's gonna choose GPT 4.0
Oh, when you make
or
new
or
text.
like a Claude Opus 4 or something. That's like, yo, I need you to use better, more up to date models than this because they're like, and it's not even the best one from a pricing standpoint. The best one from a pricing standpoint is like 5.4, like mini or something,
Yeah.
which
Wait.
has
To reiterate, is that when you ask the wingman to build you a bot, or when you go
I
in
had I
default? Or,
when I did it through the API, but even
got
Wingman
it. Got it.
doesn't pick the best bots initially either.
Got it.
Um,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it does that. So another issue I'm having too, um, since we up, I'm just I'm yeah, because I like I said I had a heck of a weekend. Um, let me go back to that tab. So another issue I want, I guess not, it's not really an issue um like with pickaxe, but something I'm trying to figure out. So you guys did a lot of changes here. Like I know you guys just announced it today, but I was kind of in the middle of it when you were changing it. Um, so when I go to do my permissions from my agents,
Hmm.
I want to go to deployments now because okay, portals. All right, so I'm trying to make it so that everything matches the plan that I have, which
Hmm.
you can't see the plan because it's only going to show this. Um, but I can show you the access levels. So
Well, so you can see, I can see it's a public access, it's a free trial.
yeah, which I'm fine with. I'm okay with that for at least for now. But I
Okay.
have like these access groups. I have free trial, public unlimited. I don't know when that
That gets auto created if you create a deployment as like the default, just because otherwise there would be no access group associated with the deployment initially, and so it's just to make sure that you know there's always an access group associated with it.
okay.
Yeah.
So I have the free trial and guest, I guess. Well, I have these, but the main ones is the member access groups, right? And
Hmm.
so the way that I wanted to do the pricing is initially you would start off as a explorer, which I cannot see now. I got a group access. Oh, you know what? This is the wrong one. That's not even the one I want to demonstrate, but it was. Let me go back. Financial blueprint is the one. Okay, cool. So these are the ones I was able to update the images on by doing a little trick I told you. All right, so
Hmm.
we boom portals, and then so I have these two hubs. So do you have to have a portal per access group? Because what I want for the access groups is uh, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Wait for it to load. There we go. So Explorer is like the initial one. So once you create an account, um, you are Explorer, right? And
Hmm.
so Explorer, you get access to one of the agents that's in the suite.
Hmm.
And you sign up for Starter, which is the first tier paid plan, and you
Hmm.
get access to a few more of the agents
Yep.
in that group. And then Operator, you get access to all the agents, but it's
Gotcha.
still a monthly. And then you got the lifetime where you do one time only, and you get lifetime access to unlimited access to the agents, right?
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah. That,
so I have to create a portal for X per access group to get this off, or
so yeah. So what you will want to do is create just okay. So um, if all of the access groups were going to provide access to this, say, it was all the same tools, but maybe you just wanted different credit allocation, something like that, then you'd
right,
only need the one portal, right? You could just attach all the access groups to the one portal because the portal determines what tools are visible, right? That's kind
right,
of the portal element. Because you want each of these groups to access different tools or different amounts of tools. Because of that, you're probably going to want to create different portals for each of these access groups. Does that make sense? So it's
yeah,
less, it's not an access group limitation. It's just because it seems like you want to give different uh, agent access, like, or,
yeah.
the ability to see different agents.
Right, right. And so you could kind of create a different experience per portal, which I get. I think what else? It was something else I was doing. What else was I doing? But yeah, I noticed that being a thing. I also noticed that you all changed like the where you do the white label. I guess you do it per portal now.
Uh,
It used
I,
to be like a major
yeah,
setting.
an account line setting. Did we change
Right.
that to be well?
See, it's not
Um,
here anymore.
if you no, if you go into deployments,
Yeah,
um,
maybe it was deployments and you go to deployment setting.
deploy settings,
Yeah, see now you do that's
yeah,
where you do the white label.
so it should be the same difference.
And then I noticed you can do workspace level custom code, which obviously Wingman doesn't have access to this. So like in my deployment,
Wingman has access to that.
it wouldn't do it. It said it didn't. And like I told it about this and it was like, nah.
That
Um
looks to it, so I don't know what's then we got to make some changes to the Wingman because anything within the workspace it should have access to and be able to change.
so like let me see if I can access this. I'm gonna copy this. That way you guys can see it in the same window. So boom. So the other issue I've been having, so like I like my little look and feel here, right?
Hmm.
And I got it to show this look and feel on all of the regular pages.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to the pickaxes, it's, the default thing. And I've been fighting with Wingman to be like, hey, now I do know I can go back and like manually kind of change the color or whatever.
Mm.
But I kind of want to maintain the same theme for every
Yeah.
agent. You know what I mean? You don't want
Yes.
to go from like this cool look to that. Not to say anything wrong with y'all default.
Oh, no. I mean, the
Design.
whole idea of this, right, is that we want you to be able to customize it as much as possible. Like, we want it to look however you want it to look. Totally.
Right.
So let's take a look here. Workspace level custom code is now deployments. Let me look in portals. So when you try to get, because like obviously we have custom code injection points for each of the portals as well, right? So like this is one of my portals. I can inject custom codes to customize the agent pages. So if you ask Wingman to do that, is it just not doing it, or?
When I tell it to customize it, yeah, I've told it numerous times. I can show you now. I mean, that's not a problem. We'd be
Yeah,
like,
I'd
boom.
like to, because we need to. If so, we need to make some tweaks to Wingman on the back end, because I want to
Now,
make sure that's
now I just want to
really.
say this up front. I'm not claiming to be a prompting expert,
Oh
okay?
yeah, totally.
Let me see. Boom. All right, there we go. All right. I gotta move this up. There we go. Wingman. Hey, I wish Wingman. No, Wingman needs some damn memories. What Wingman needs.
Yeah.
I, every like something happens and it gets reset and you gotta start over and be like, hey, Wingman, I was just having a great conversation with you. We had made this much progress. As you can see, like I've been using the hell out of Wingman. I'm down to like 18.1K left.
Uh,
Um,
we can adjust that as well. Just the conversation memory on the back end. That's a helpful note.
let me.
I mean, the thing is though, that's only for one conversation, so we might have to add some user memories. You can also always open previous
When
conversations.
when you say it's for one conversation, like even when I go to like another project, it still
Yeah.
show me that balance.
Oh no, 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 not the balance. I mean the memory. So I was
Oh,
saying if we were to improve the tokens allocated to conversation memory, that'll just be for that conversation. I was mostly talking to myself, but I was
oh,
also
okay, okay.
we could also
Oh,
try to improve the user memories, but you can also go back to previous chats, reopen them, and continue an old conversation from there. So hopefully, I don't know, have you tried to do that?
um, what did you say again?
So if you click up here, right, and go to this is your chat history, right? You
Hmm.
can open any previous conversation and continue it.
Oh, yeah, I
So
didn't know
I
about
might
that
suggest doing
option.
that if you want to,
That's
continue a
cool.
previous conversation. Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's try that now. Golden user legal research MVP. Apply my dark theme to all agent pages. There you go. See. All right.
Yeah.
So, I did try it. It just didn't work. And then it says for workspace level custom code box in the UI to the dark theme applied to all 6 agent pages, but it didn't happen. So, because it lied. Um, but try it
Mm,
again.
no,
It
interesting.
didn't work.
Interesting.
It didn't work. My agent pages are bland and my um portal pages are awesome. I would like for my agent pages, in fact, let me let it know all. I want for all of my agent pages
Mm.
to have the same awesomeness as my portal pages. Um, I want the dark gradient black and purple is background with the nice bold white font. Um, can you please make this happen for me? All right. Fingers crossed. Do do
It's
do
all right.
do.
I'm still waiting on mine because I want to user test while I'm watching you. So I also
Yeah.
asked Wingman in one of mine to make my agent pages dark. So we'll see if it does it. This is all really helpful feedback for us because I we that we're always trying to improve Wingman on the back end. So it should definitely be able to add custom code to portals or to workspace level.
Now,
Um,
to be fair,
yeah.
like, Wingman does make a lot of things much easier, right? Just like even the API
Well,
makes.
I mean,
So
just because it's pretty good doesn't mean we can't make it really
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like that's the idea. We want it to be really good.
So I'm not saying it's trash or nothing,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, but because I mean, it did do a good job with the Actually, I originally tried to design the pages through the API, and it was
Yeah.
coming out horrible.
Oh
So then
yeah.
I told Wingman to do it directly, and it did a better job, as you can
That's
see.
good.
Um, there are some things that's kind of like generic. Like I'm not getting the result that the guy got on one of his tutorials.
Probably Chris.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but like I said, it was better. But because like even on one of my other workspace, I got it to do something too. But like I said, it's the agent pages that be like really
Hmm.
like I said, I know I can go through and customize it manually, but even that there's some limitations to that because like you can only do like the main color and then like the thing, but you could do custom HTML, CSS if you want, which is cool, which I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
get it to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, the good thing is, I know that Wingman is really good at making those custom code pages, right? But
Hmm.
so like that's good, that's great. But if you're gonna have a uniform theme across a portal, right, you also need to have the agent pages match the theme of the custom or the custom code pages. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, which it should be able to handle both.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that it can. I'm just trying to like. I guess part of the reason it's bringing it up here is making sure it's not a bug, and also making sure it's not something that I'm doing wrong. You know what I
No, I
mean?
think it is based just I'm looking at your file. And the nice thing is, and I can keep looking into this because the nice thing is like we can on the back end, like if I go like at Wingman, I can see like XYZ interaction that's so I can go take a look kind of on
Yeah.
the back end and try to figure out where it got stuck or why it maybe isn't working as well as it could be. So it's always really helpful to get feedback like this because just yeah, helps us go in, tweak things, make sure it's working well. Because it's good that it can make custom pages, but should be able to work for other types of custom code. I
Well, I
see.
mean, seeing as agents is like the main thing, you would think that it would.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm just saying, like that's the main thing. Like before there was pages, there were agents.
yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean, part of it's just that pages are way easier, right? Because
right.
changing the agents, it's like right. So we have code and backend for that supports the builder, right? And on a whole backend, right, to deploy those agents, right? Whereas a page is just kind of a page, right?
Yeah,
So there's
but
a lot more that you have to work with to get the changes to the agent to render. I think so. That might be.
on a different note, like agents will also be kind of uniform as far as you know what the um what the tags are, or
Mm-hmm.
for what elements you're changing. Because even though there are most of your agents are pretty much going to be basically the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the picture, you're going to have the title, you're going to have the text field, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that should kind of work universal in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, pages can be a little bit more flexible depending on what a person's asking for a page to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's that. But I mean, like I said, in general, I've been making some headway because have you heard about the situation where the company stole the like $2,000 in Legos from the one guy?
No, that's
It,
very cool.
it said, You say it's cool that they stole $2,000 from
No,
Lego?
that's
Oh,
just like, I mean, cool and like that's insane. You know what I
no,
mean?
no. You know what's cool though? On the other end, is there's this guy, and you got I would give you a link, but it's this guy named Reckless Ben, right?
Yeah,
And he went around like he's trying to help this guy get his Legos back. And the way that he was counteracting the corporate tricks that they were doing, because they was doing this, they sent him in this little loophole. The store was saying, "Oh, you got to talk to corporate," and the corporate was saying, "Well, you got to talk to the franchisee," and they kept sending this loop. So what he did was he did some things where he was trying to like he was selling merchandise in front of the store,
yeah.
and what he's going to do is like, no, if they tried to sue him, no, you have to, no, that's with the franchisee. We're not responsible for that versus the court. It was the funniest thing, but it kind of opened my eyes to the fact that you can kind of use unorthodox tactics as a small little guy to
Mhm.
take on the big people, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so I created a suite of pickaxes called the corruption playbook for dealing with different levels of corruption, whether it's through corporations, whether it's through government agencies. And so that's what the corruption playbook is about. Um, and then, like I tried it out first as a Gemini gem,
Hmm.
and my Gemini gem is awesome.
Hmm.
So, I'm looking forward to playing with it around with pickaxe, but I gotta wait till I give you some more credits
Yeah.
because I use
No.
them all via the API. But right now I'm just getting the infrastructure set up so that at least once that's done, I might just add some credits so I can just see it work. But
Hmm.
um, I mean, it's been cool, and then I created my own MCP server
Hmm.
that can do things like search SEC filings, search previous case laws, search bills that was passed by Congress, and all these things to kind of help incorporate that in the strategies.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to how this is going to turn out, but
Yeah,
so far so good.
yeah, absolutely. Hey, Doug, how's it going?
Good,
Uh,
thank you.
got anything you want to ask about?
No, not really. I haven't really been working on my studio much. So I actually forgot about office hours and I was sitting down to work on it and I saw you guys were live. So I'm just kind of
Yeah.
chilling.
Well, I think we're just kind of chilling too. We're learning about some of Wingman's shortcomings, which is helpful. Because I too, Lloyd, am having trouble getting it to successfully send me or create or sorry, let me rephrase that. Make changes to one of my portals using custom code. So
Yeah,
um, I'm gonna have to we might have to make some tweaks in the back end just to make sure it's working correctly. Yours I can see is still running, so maybe you'll find some success with it. What it tried to do was make me a new custom code page, even though I
right.
explicitly told that I wanted it to add and inject custom code into
Which
the portal.
which model are you guys using for it?
Um, I one, I don't know. Two, I'm not sure if I can share that information.
Oh,
Uh,
I mean, I was more so I wasn't doing it from the standpoint of trying to steal it from you. I
yo,
just know
yeah.
that certain models are smarter than others. So like
I mean,
I
of course.
typically like when we're doing complex tasks, especially like coding and things that there's like nuances, I don't I wouldn't use anything lower than Claude Opus 4.6.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we definitely are using, a very up to date model. In addition to, like, on the back end, we've supercharged it with a lot of, agentic features. So it's about as high powered as
Well,
it can get. So, prompting tweaks we can definitely and we'll definitely do, but I don't think it's a model configuration issue.
yeah, I'm at Claude Sonnet 4.6.
Yeah,
Because
gotcha.
actually Claude Sonnet is actually really good on the 4.6 one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's still working.
Um, Well, yeah, so we can wait for it to work. Anyone got anything they want to check in on just while we're chilling here? All good. I do want to make sure we get some more data by letting the wingman finish running here.
But yeah, but in general, yeah, I like Wingman. Maybe y'all could well, I guess it's doing the same. I was gonna say maybe I could do like a Wingman API where when you communicate, you're actually talking to Wingman. But I mean, I guess it's no different just communicating with the API directly.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be too much different. You know, and the CLI is a really fantastic tool, you know, that we encourage people to use. So yeah, that's kind of the alternate option.
Right. I think I'd be using both, or really it's whatever anti-gravity elects to use at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, looks like it's not done. It's just it's on the set. All 4
All
pages
4
updated.
pages That's not what we wanted. We wanted the agent pages to be updated, not the custom code pages.
Right.
Right.
So now I'm afraid that it messed up my stuff. Is there a way to undo?
Yeah, you should be able to ask it to undo the most recent change.
Let me see. Dang, it leaves like 8 credits for that too. All right, let's see what happened.
I'm always happy to refund you some credits on that, or you know, just re-add some credits to your
Okay,
wingman.
so
I can go
it doesn't look bad, at least. Okay. Boom, getting started is cool. Pricing. Okay. Let's see what it did here. Uh-oh. No. Dang,
Well,
I got
you know, it always might be a little more helpful on the back end if you open the portal and go to design, then you can actually see whether or not any code was injected at all. So to see it on the back end.
I'll tell you
But it
what
doesn't.
is. I'll tell you what is different. So like usually when I would click on these options, it would show a white background first, and then it would but like well now it's not showing the back though. It's not showing but yeah. It did try to change. As you see, it did try to change the excuse me, the
Let's
name.
see. Let's
But
see. Yeah, it doesn't look like any custom code was injected to either of your deployments. At least I'm looking at your workspace on my back end just to check. So all right, that's good to know. Might be good for us to make some tweaks on the back end based on this feedback. Luckily, you know, this is recorded, so I can go back and rewatch this. And it seems like we want to make some little tweaks to the autosave feature, and then also see if we can improve Wingman a little bit in terms of its ability to add custom code to portals. So that's very helpful.
yeah, but I see y'all definitely been busy because, like I said, it was stuff that would change. I'm like, goodness, where do I was like, goodness, where do I white label at? Where's the white label? Oh,
Yeah. The nice thing is that there weren't we didn't really make any changes to like what is kind of visible. The only thing that is different is and so like obviously we spread the settings tab was just getting too long. It was just too long. It was impossible to find anything in there. And it was really annoying. So what we did was we obviously separated that out into settings of different types, and then
right.
the only thing that has been like added is now if you click deployments, you can see all your deployments, including your portals and all deployments of different types. Those didn't all used to be available or visible in one place. So I was really stoked that we did that because, you know, I think even when I'm helping users, you know, not being able to see all the deployments and having to click on an agent in order to see its deployments was annoying. So it's really nice to all, you know, have them all in one place now.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. Really helpful.
Yeah. I was pretty stoked on that. All right, my wingman says that it made improvements to the portal. If we save portal, let's see.
So what we're doing here, this is editing the HTML for like the background and such.
Yeah, we're trying
Okay.
to inject custom code into the agent
Okay,
page
nice.
portal here.
The ones that are working, Lloyd, look really good.
Yeah,
Right, right.
the ones that
Really
are working
nice.
great, which is again really stellar at making those custom code pages. But again, so let's see. It says it's going to do that. It says portal is now dark. Let me inject see this deployment of portal. Yeah, so doesn't look like it did that successfully. I don't see any custom code been injected into that, so might have to to see if we can improve that, which is totally fine and happens all the time. So okay, that is very helpful feedback, and it's just giving me some things to look into for the next week. So that's really helpful.
Yeah, the portal pages that where it's working looks so nice that makes the ones that where it's not working look really bad.
Yeah. Something else to note that I think would have been helpful in both of these cases is that we now have this little icon in the lower right corner of the screen, or left corner of the screen, excuse me, for add feedback. So that could either be any improvement that you want, and this is visible in the builder as well, to the site, or if you want something's not working well, you can really quickly and easily file a report. When you file one of these reports, we have it set up so that a bunch of information, like what your message is, in addition to relevant information about your session, what page the report was filed on, the user's email, so that we can contact them about it. All of that is sent to our email inbox. So we, within minutes can take a look at any bug report you want to file. If you don't want to have to go and email us separately, you can just do it here. So, Lloyd, I'd say for should you encounter more situations like this, you're always welcome to click that and send us some feedback, because that's definitely the kind of thing that would be helpful for us to know about.
Right. Well, some stuff is easier to explain, and some
Yeah.
stuff is easier just to show you. So, like in a situation where it's not updating, when you have the little autosave feature, that's something that I don't even know if you would be able to replicate it on your end. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, because sometimes, we can't reproduce this. We can't, but versus.
I mean, yeah, for what it's worth, even if we can't reproduce something, it's something, we'll still take it seriously, just because we can't reproduce it doesn't mean it's not happening. You know what I mean? And so, if you send us an email, you can always obviously send along screenshots, send along a video if you don't want to wait until office hours or whatever. But however you want to send it over, we will still 100% look into it, and we can still make a ticket if we have. I mean, if we can't reproduce it, we may ask for some screenshots or a video, just so that the engineers have some documentation to work with while they're trying to make a fix, right? But it won't be because we don't believe you. You know what I mean? If you tell us something's broken, we'll believe you. We just need the documentation so that we can fix it.
Right. So my other question now is with the agent runtime. So let's say I'm within a studio, workspace. I keep wanting to call it studio because we've called it studios for forever. And there's a particular agent within that workspace. Let's say I wanted to do research every day or something. How would I go about getting to do that? Is that something I have to do within the custom prompt? Or is there a place where I have access to the runtime instructions to have it do those things?
So, to my understanding, there's no way to, without any prompting or message, to have one of your agents perform agentic tasks just autonomously. We don't yet have that capability for agents.
So what does the runtime accomplish then?
So agentic run. Okay. Carson is on our call, and I think he wants to tap in here. So I'll let him.
Cool, cool.
All right, sorry about that, Lloyd and Lindsay. So yeah, you can absolutely, with agentic runtime toggled on, you can have cron set up. Doug, I don't know if you're still around, but actually, Lloyd, Doug is one of the main beta testers of this functionality, in which I believe it was Weather. He was having a cron set up for an agentic runtime agent sending weather. So you can have it do daily running tasks, but there's not necessarily like a toggle or tab in UI where you can configure and build the active cron jobs, if that makes sense.
No, I get that part. I guess the question is, where do you give the instructions for to do those agentic tasks?
Great
I
question.
do it just by chatting with the agent, and it seems like OpenClaw, where it must create some kind of a markdown file in the background that is the actual cron job that gets scheduled, or creates a script or something like that. I mean, obviously, Carson, you know.
So like, well, I'm sure you do that. So like in a situation where I'm trying to configure this for a client, I would have to have my own agent that I talk to fulfill these tasks.
Yeah, let's give that as an idea for Carson. I'll give you an idea right there. So let's say Lloyd has subscribers, and each one has different things financially they're working on. That'd be super cool if we had a cron job. I mean, I don't even know if you can do this in OpenClaw. A cron job that was kind of individualized per user to send them like their portfolio report or something to their Telegram account or something. Is that what you're thinking, Lloyd?
Or more so like like I look at I guess more so in the thing of configuration of having certain tasks that are scheduled to run, so that when I pass this studio on to the organization, who it's like I'm looking at automating businesses using agent runtime. So like the various tasks, maybe let's say it was a marketing company, or maybe it was doing marketing tasks, or maybe it was sending emails, maybe it was writing social media posts and then sending them via an MCP server or something like that. If it did it, if you could tell it to do it based on these things, or it could look at the feedback and then based on the feedback know that we should write more of these and less of that. You know what I mean? But on a more autonomous basis instead of you telling it to do it.
Right. And that's first of all, that's a pretty reasonable ask. I would say that type of like UI configuration inside of Pickaxe is something that we will take down as a feature request, and obviously, mark it as, for now, we can mark it as pending. But my interstitial caveat there would be that it is absolutely something that works inside of agentic runtime, in the sense that, I can't say that prompting might be something that you want to do, but for the end user, you definitely can have them set up cron jobs for themselves. Like if Lindsay and I were both chatting with the same agentic runtime agent, and Lindsay asked for a cron job to be set up every day for them, and I asked for a cron job to be set up for me, that would be 2 cron jobs based on our end user profiles, and not one single cron job that's sent out to both of us with the same information. So, obviously, we would love to make it a little bit easier inside of UI, add a tab, call it cron jobs, so that you guys can do it in UI, and maybe it's a little bit easier, but you definitely can have the end users ask for their own cron jobs. And again, that's not to say that it wouldn't be easier to have it in its own tab in UI, but essentially, that's how you could do it for right now. And then moving forward, absolutely, I think that it would be a great idea to have some sort of tab set up for, either long running tasks or daily cron jobs or something like that.
Carson, where does the cron job go? Like, where does it print?
Where does the cron job print? So essentially, so when you're asking, like for you would be asking, one of your end users asked, hey, I want a cron job every day. You would have to set up, unless you were inside of Pickaxe UI, the submission would fire inside of the agent. So you could go back as the owner of the workspace or studio. You could then look and see that the submission fired, but it's a really good point. The end user will have no visibility unless you set up some sort of email outbound trigger, or maybe you want to set it up with some sort of SMS outbound or something like that. But to your point, unless you're actively in Pickaxe UI, the cron job won't essentially fire anywhere for you to see, unless you as the owner of the agent or workspace set it up in such a way that the end user can then receive the results of that cron job via email or however you see fit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like
Telegram would work then?
well,
I believe so. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm going to test that this week.
so
Yeah, go crazy. And obviously, as always, Doug, like, let us know if that isn't something that's working. We'll obviously want to make sure we get on that immediately. But essentially, the cron job will trigger, the submission will fire to the agent. But unless you have some sort of outbound set up, then no, there won't be anywhere to receive the results of that agent.
So like, I know that like when that's one of the superpowers of OpenClaw, right? Was the what they call the heartbeat. What was a cron job that basically ran? They gave it instructions to do something that would set itself, right? So we know that cron jobs are a part of it. I guess I more so had I had a question of how to configure it as the owner of the workspace, so that when other users who use the workspace, they get like, I guess like they don't get the same access, but they get the benefit of of the configuration per se. So like it's almost like having admin privileges, but you want regular user privileges to it. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it has to be some type of access controls or something, because you don't want everybody having the same privilege, on an agentic runtime.
right. Yeah, and that's totally fair. There isn't obviously some sort of tab right now in UI in which you could do this, but the way, if I had a client, it's Tuesday now. If I had a client that said, "Hey, I'm going to pay you a lump sum and I need this done by Friday," the way that I would do it existing inside of Pickaxe is I would prompt the agent with runtime turned on, and I would tell the agent inside of the prompt, essentially, you will have individual users who will ask for crons themselves, and you will make sure that you keep those crons sectioned and you're not, cross-contaminating between users themselves. That would be the paradigm that I would do it, is I would prompt the agent inside of the prompt to say, essentially, you're going to receive multiple asks for crons themselves, make sure that they're partitioned between each other. But yeah, again, definitely the easier way moving forward would be us, sitting down as a team and trying to figure out how we can implement, like you said, some sort of access control or cron jobs tab where you can have a little bit more granular control inside of UI. But yeah, that's essentially the paradigm that I would go about doing it right now. And obviously your feedback is taken as, at face value, and, we hear you, and we'll look into creating a tab or something like that.
Okay, one more question. So I remember like some of the earlier days of Pickaxe, user memory was like a big thing. And I remember seeing settings for it, but I don't really see how to configure that now. And I know you guys still have it. It's probably just somewhere I don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's an easy answer. You can make configuration changes to user memory. I'll close Wingman. Under the users tab where it says user memory.
Let me see. Oh, user memory, duh. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Obviously, drop us a line if you're having any issues with that. But we made some improvements to it in the last year, and hopefully it should be working pretty well at this point.
And you can do instructions. So like, how does the instructions work? Like, what would the instructions entail?
I mean, so you literally should just be telling it exactly what you want it to collect, right?
Okay.
So it's you prompt it much like you'd prompt, within an agent or with one of your trigger prompts in your actions, right? You're basically just telling it what to do in plain language.
Okay, cool. So like, I'll give you an example. So right now I'm doing a I'm doing a workspace that's, I'm going to call it ProSay engine, which is like for people who want to represent themselves in court, and it kind of
Mhm.
like guides people through the process, in the paperwork you need to file out. So obviously, everyone would have their own cases that they're working on, and so that would save, I guess, in memory. So I would be able to leverage this in that particular use case, then, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just so I'm dropping one of the learn pages that kind of has a little bit of info about user memory in it. But yeah, essentially you will just you're probably going to want to set that to collect and use in terms of behavior, and then basically you would just say, hey, say for each user, I want to save information about their case, right? And then maybe the specific details or as granular as you can get and what you want it to save. And Doug knows a lot about user memory because he might even be our biggest user of user memory. So yeah, he can feel free to jump in here if he wants to add any good tips or tricks on how to use it better. I would say that before if he wants to dive in, you do get different account tiers have different numbers of user memories. Pro users, it's at 100, which is obviously a lot, and allows for each, like, you're going to get better results with the user memory the more targeted it is, right? Like if you're saying one user memory, remember this person's name, another user memory, remember this person's email, whatever, that's going to be really successful. If you only have, say, one user memory allocated per workspace, you can definitely still get good results, but I would say that the more granular your request is, the better it's going to be able to respond to it. But Doug, yeah, please, any tips or tricks?
Yeah, I'm on the pro tier. I think I have 100 slots. I just put a link into a Substack article I posted about this in case any of you guys did ask. So it just shows you how every single category, I use 46 categories right now. And I just find that, again, I love the idea of OpenClaw, and I think I'm trying to do the same thing as you are, Lloyd, which is try to provide small businesses or even solopreneurs the ability to have some kind of an agentic help in their business. Ultimately, what I supposedly can do with OpenClaw in my own life is what I want for them. But the more I use OpenClaw, the more I'm realizing it's like babysitting a toddler every single day. It drives me crazy. It's just, I can't imagine having a dozen clients, man. I'd just be in front of the computer all day fixing trouble. So,
but the question is too, what models are you using? Like, I always ask this question.
No, I'm all the way down on, like, the strongest I ever use is Haiku for whatever. And in order to keep myself below, $50 a month personally, I'm like on Gemini, 2.7 to 3.
Yeah. And the problem with, like, as I mentioned with the Gemini, especially like the Flash models, is the Flash models lie a lot, not hallucinate, literally lie, right? And then when you have with the when you're doing, depending on like the nature of the task you're doing, like, yeah, there's simple tasks you can probably get away with a light model, but when you're dealing with an agent that's responsible for all these tasks, or you're responsible for all these sub agents, you do need it to be as smart and as competent as possible. That's the reason why I usually say like no less than 4.6 Sonnet, even though Sonnet isn't expensive as Opus. I do understand it can get a little expensive, but like when you have it doing like cumbersome tasks, I wouldn't accept anything less than that as a substitute, because you got to look at what's on the line. And especially when you're dealing with businesses and commercial applications, you need intelligence. You can't just have something that's going to be low costing, and that's where you got the companies like Starbucks, where their AI application failed, and some of these other ones, 'cause I'm sure they were using models that are not that intelligent, and they couldn't have been using models that was that intelligent, because really, Sonnet 4.6 and Opus 4.6 just came out this year. And so before, you were dealing with models that were intelligent to do most things, but when it came down to reliable reasoning, as an ability to troubleshoot without messing up everything, you really can't afford anything less than
I
4.6
know,
on it,
but
in my opinion.
you know, I read Peter Stein. You see Peter Steinberger's tweet where I think he did 1.2 million in API fees last month or
Mhm.
something. So
What
I
was he
mean,
using?
I mean, I would love to use stronger models. It just becomes
Yeah.
unaffordable, you know. So
Right.
it's a challenge, you know. And it's nice that you're in the, at least for this website, it looks like you're in the financial area, which might command maybe a higher rate for the. I'm unfortunately the SaaS I've built is in an area where I can only get away with like $20 a month for my users. Otherwise, it's
Right.
too much for them, and it just creates, it's impossible to have really high API fees then. So I'm going to select my users based on what they're willing to pay next time I create
Right.
something.
Well, you know, I understand that use case too. So I kind of like it shifted my model to dealing with, um, I guess users with more money, because like I kind of developed a philosophy is just like if I don't have enough money to deal with people who have no money. Like usually when you look at companies that's making money off of people who have a little bit of money, these are big companies that are able to scale in that
Yeah,
way where
you
they
need
get
a
able to.
million users to make.
Right.
It's like selling
Right.
T-shirts. You got to sell
Uh-huh.
a million to make a profit.
Right. And so you may be better off shifting your demographic to
That's what I'm going to
people
do.
who, yeah, because otherwise it's not going to be worth it. But also too, the places with money also give you way less headache, like
Yeah.
significantly less headache. It's crazy, but it's true. Like they give you more money, but they ain't bothering you nowhere near as less as somebody's paying you $9.99 and want the freaking world.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it sounds like we have a lot of similar interests. I know Lindsay's going to be wrapping up here, but if you want to connect on the user group, it sounds like we might be able to brainstorm a little bit.
Cool. To which user group?
Oh, and the Pickaxe user forums or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah, I'm there.
It's not super active. I wish it was more active. It makes me not go as often, but there's not a
And
lot of, there's usually technical help there. There's not a lot of people like strategizing like how to monetize things, which I wish there was more of that.
yeah, I got you. What I'm about to do before we close is I'll just put my email address in here.
Okay.
Just trying to find this little chat window because you know when you share a screen it puts in a little box. There we go. All right. Boom. That's me right there. Go ahead and send me an email and then we can kind of take it from there. But yeah, um, you know, there's a ton of opportunity with them, you know, offering the ability to have like, I mean, it was already opportunity, but the fact that they're going agentic, I noticed that you all, that's what I wanted to say too. I noticed that you all did an email where you're talking about you're asking them go high level
Yeah.
users how to, and then what was crazy, I was thinking and I was going to tell you today, like I see you all having an ability to be like the go high level of agents. And so it was just funny you guys put that. I did have one more question though before you get to that.
Okay.
I noticed that when I was setting up custom actions, I saw the ability to use an agent as a custom action. How does that work?
I mean, basically, if triggered, then the other agent will be brought into the conversation, and
What?
yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'm about to test that out.
Yeah, poke around with it. Okay, looks like we're just about at time here. So thank you guys so much for coming and chatting. As I think you both know, we do these twice a week, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, Thursdays, 10 a.m. Pacific. I know what time it is. And so hopefully we'll see you guys again. You also know where to find us, not on office hours, which is at info@pickaxeproject.com. So you can always shoot us an email with any follow-ups. And this has been some really useful feedback for us. So I will look into some of these elements and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day.
See you guys
Bye.
Thursday. Bye.